Hello, I'm Sam and I'll be walking you through this tutorial on how to use the Penn Cytomics Flowcore calendar. To begin, we have 3 things to verify before we can start booking on the calendar. First, please enable pop-ups in this website to ensure the web pages and warnings load properly. Second, please go to the user profile and update your contact information. While this is not required, it will make it a lot easier for us to contact you if an instrument is down. Finally, let's ensure we've been granted permission to schedule and operate a cytometer. Go to the My Access button and you'll be given your personal account breakdown. This first section verifies that you have a Penn card and that is registered in our system. The second section verifies you have an active funding source. And the third section identifies the instruments that you've got the permissions to use. Please note that this does not mean that you have access to the building that instrument is in. For those details, you have to go to this redirect link to take you to the main web page for more instrument information. Now we're ready to start using the scheduler. This first page you load into will be the main calendar page. This page contains all of our analyzers, sorters, and any other instruments maintained by the Flowcore that are not considered cytometers. Navigation through this calendar is done through the buttons at the top of the screen. In the Pick Date button, there is an additional calendar view available for you to help navigate through the month. We also have a Favorites view to filter calendars based on your preferred cytometers. Select the Edit Favorites, pick the instruments you wish to see, and hit Save. When you return to the calendar and turn on your filter, those will be the only instruments that populate on the calendar. Finally, this calendar also lets you see a weekly schedule for a single instrument. Simply select the machine, and you'll be taken to a Sunday through Saturday schedule where you're still able to book and make reservations. You can change the instrument through the button in the top right of the screen. Now that we've covered navigation and filters, let's cover calendar appearance and function. You'll notice that there are 3 different background colors on this calendar. Any white section is available for booking, gray sections are restricted times, and green sections are available for assisted sorting appointments. They're available if you'd like staff assistance, but restricted for independent sorting. To schedule, please call the Flowcore. Let's start by trying to make a reservation. First, select any white background section on the instrument you'd like to reserve, and a pop-up will appear requesting a few more details before saving. First, it will request your PI. This information is critical for billing and funding, so please make sure to apply the correct PI for your experiment. The start time will auto-populate based off of where you selected on the calendar, but this can be adjusted. Finally, input the duration of your reservation and hit reserve. Please always confirm that this green banner appears at the top of the screen. This area will notify you if there are any conflicts or restrictions with your reservation. The green banner here confirms that your time was reserved, and the reservation should now appear on the scheduler. Some policies may affect your ability to make a reservation. If you're not sure which ones apply to your instrument, click the Scheduling Policies link to view them on our website. There is one key policy that I want to highlight. For all of our low parameter analyzers, reservation length is limited to 3 hours during the peak hours of 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. That means if you try to book a reservation longer than 3 hours, you will receive this error message indicating that your reservation cannot be this long. Instead, I would recommend making your 3-hour reservation before the end of the peak hour window, and then creating an additional reservation outside of the peak hours to make sure that you can get through all of your samples. Now, let's look at these gray restricted sections. These areas are unique to the user logged in. There are 4 main reasons for restrictions: no training, missing funding, lab exclusive time, and biosafety restrictions. We'll cover biosafety restrictions when we talk about sorting reservations later. Let's go through some examples. Right now, I'm logged in as Nikki. Nikki hasn't completed training for the lyric. If she tried to make a reservation, she'll get a warning message before the reservation window appears, giving the reason why. And if she were to try to proceed and make the reservation anyway, the red banner will appear showing why the reservation was denied and the time slot will not be saved. The second restriction we will cover is missing funding. If your funding expires, you'll notice that all of the instruments will be grayed out, and you'll get a warning message when trying to make a reservation. You won't be able to select any PI when moving forward, indicating that you have no active projects. To check your funding status, go to your user profile and select the Funding tab. This will show your past projects and their expiration dates. Keep in mind that the Flow Core can't assign funding, so you'll need to reach out to your BA or PI for help. Finally, let's talk about lab exclusive time. I've logged in as a member of the BAR or lab, which gives me permission to use the Fortessa D during its lab exclusive periods. These gray sections will still appear to indicate both restricted and public use times. If you select the lab exclusive time, a warning message will pop up to let you know which lab group has the right to use that instrument during that period. However, once you make your reservation, it will save without any issues. Lab exclusive times have different scheduling rules from other instruments, so you can edit or modify your reservation anytime before the start of the reservation. One important note, reservations cannot overlap both public use and lab exclusive times. If you try to make a reservation, you will get this warning message indicating that you'll be charged the full duration, including the lab exclusive periods. To avoid this, make two separate reservations, one for both the public use time and one for the private lab exclusive time. Now that we've covered analyzer reservations and restrictions, let's go over sorting reservations. There are two ways to make a sorting reservation. First, you can click on the Reserve a Sorter button on the side of the screen. And second, you can scroll down to the sorting instruments and select one, which will take you to the same page. Note that if you do this second method, the calendar will be saved and used later in the workflow. This first page you'll see is the Biosafety Forms page. EHRS requires biosafety information for all particles that will be sorted, as sorting creates aerosols that could pose risks to you, our staff, and others in the room. This system ensures that sorting is safe by restricting the available instruments based off of their safety levels. Let's walk through an example using a human biosafety form. Reserving a sorter is similar to reserving an analyzer, except the pop-up prompt will require you to select a nozzle size along with the other reservation details. This helps our staff prepare the instrument for you before your session. When selecting your PI, the options will be filtered based off of your biosafety form selection. Once everything's set, confirm that the green banner appears at the top of the screen, and you've now successfully made a sorter reservation. For the final restriction we'll cover, you'll notice that ARIA B is restricted when using a human biosafety form because it's not in a biosafety hood and human samples and cell lines are not allowed. If you try to reserve it, you'll see the warning message indicating that this biosafety form cannot be used on this instrument, and if you were to try to proceed, you'll be denied due to the biosafety form's safety level requirements. This concludes the FlowCore calendar tutorial. If you have any questions or notice your restrictions are not accurate, please contact the FlowCore so we can resolve the issue and ensure you have access to the instruments you need. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.